Hey everyone, Hurricane Liz here, ready to talk about 5 key things that I learned at a $25,000 mastermind. So obviously, I had to pay $25,000, you didn't, and different people will gather different things from these. But most importantly, before we jump into those 5 things, let me talk about why it's important to even join masterminds. You see, it's not really about the information that you get from there, and sure, that's all freaking fantastic, but it's about being around the right people and developing lifelong relationships with some of these people. Sometimes it takes more than one interaction. In fact, the last couple masterminds that I've gone to, I've only gotten like one person out of each of them where I developed a relationship and still to this day talk to them. And some of them have become some of my best Skype buddies to ask questions to about advertising and about all sorts of stuff. So I encourage you guys to get out there and join some masterminds. But now let's talk about what I actually learned from this particular mastermind. So the mastermind that I went to, which I highly recommend, I'm in it, I'm going to continue to be in it, is called Genius Network. And obviously for $25,000, you get this nice freaking notebook, right? Awesome, awesome. Nice to see where millionaires spend their money. So in this network, it's 5 key things that I got out of here. Number 1, and again, these tips are, use them however you want to use them. There's the things that I gathered from the actual meeting. But number 1 was, there's a guy there that's in my mastermind that's the bomb. He's like, look him up. His name is Charles Poliquin. He's been featured in some of Tim Ferriss's work. He's been on his podcast a record 3 times. He's like a strength and conditioning coach for Olympic athletes. I got a chance to hang with him. Number one thing that tip that I took from him is he hasn't had a cold since 1994. I think I was still in high school in 1994. Some of you guys probably weren't even born yet. So think about the impact of that. And his big tip for avoiding colds is taking a glutamine. And I'm reading this straight from my actual notebook. Let's see if you guys, well, you probably can't read my writing. It's total chicken scratch. It looks like shit. Taking a glutamine first thing in the morning. That's exactly what he does, and he has avoided colds since 1994. Remember when I was a young buck? Some of you guys were twinkles in your mom's and dad's eyes, so keep that in mind. So get your glutamine, take it in the morning, and you won't get a cold. Next thing that I actually learned, and this is like a more fascinating thing, so I'm going to actually draw this out, is pick up a copy of this book if you like to read. If you don't like to read, don't pick it up because it is pretty dense reading material. It'll put you to sleep. So if you need some help sleeping, screw the melatonin, get this book. However, the book actually discusses very interesting concepts that the German military in particular implemented, and it's why they pretty much almost took over the world. Scary stuff. It was their actual ability to build an organization, and they were outnumbered 5-1, but yet still almost won the war. How did they do it? Well, it's all in this book. And it really comes down to being able to categorize people into the right quadrant, and I'm just briefly going to drop the quadrants. I'm not going to really, you guys read the book. I know a bunch of people are like, oh, I don't want to read the book. I don't read. Well, then I don't want to tell you. So there's 4 quadrants. The CEOs and 4-star generals would be in this upper quadrant here. These guys are the guys that you just throw out. You don't want these people working for you. They categorize people into 2 different things. They were either high energy or diligent or hardworking. You can use either word interchangeably. These are the guys. It's based on a quadrant. So right here is the intelligence level, and on this quadrant is the we'll just put diligence or hardworking ability. So there's this one here is CEOs and 4-star generals. These are the specialized people. So they're like spec ops, right? They're doing all the dirty work. We're talking like Navy SEALs, stuff like that. And then these are just the workers right here. These are the guys that you want to every day, day in, day out, just hammer shit out, right? So these are the guys that you throw out. These guys happen to be high energy, right? They're high on the energy because this is diligence. We'll call this energy 2 and hardworking ability. So they're high on this thing, but they got low intelligence. So these are guys that break shit. They're ready. They're like freaking animals, but they're so stupid that they break stuff. These are the guys that have low energy and low intelligence. They're, I hate to say it, but dumb as dirt, and they just hammer shit out for entrepreneurs and people like that. So I don't necessarily want to say dumb, but they don't strive to become any better. You can obviously build your intelligence level by reading and doing stuff like that, but these guys don't want to do any of that. They will do the monotonous tasks day in, day out. So these guys are the drones. Right here, specialized guys happen to be high on the energy and low on, high on energy and high intelligence. So they're both. Now you'd imagine, why aren't these guys in charge, right? Because these guys are the guys that are super hard to keep up with. So they can't really lead because people will see them and say like, wow, I can't even keep up with this guy. Why should I follow him? And then you've got your CEO, high intelligence and low energy. These are the guys that don't like to do much of anything that requires a lot of work. So they figure out a way to do it smarter. And that's why these guys are the CEOs, because they are smarter, yet they want everything done easier. So that's why they are in charge. And that's basically the gist of the second tip. Sorry that took so long, but again, if you want to read something, you like reading, get this book. If you don't, and you want something to help you sleep, get this book. So it serves two purposes. All right, fantastic, awesome. Next thing, and again, I'm looking through my actual list here. So the next thing is number 3, which is when you're interviewing employees, you want to use something called behavioral questions. So the behavioral questions will be like, give me a time when this happened. So maybe let me know of a time when everything broke. That's the best one that I can think of, but you want to think about this, brainstorm it beforehand, and ask people this exact thing. The next thing that I really got out of this, and a lot of this is dealing with actually building an organization and running it more than with marketing tactics or anything. The next thing is when you have employees that are giving you problems or not, or you just have employees in general, start getting in the habit of giving them deadlines. Because if not, they're going to do things to the beat of their own drum, and sometimes that means never. So when you start giving them deadlines, now you can hold them responsible for accomplishing things, and if they don't, you can write them up, or after so many times, you can terminate them, right? Because they didn't do something. And then the last tip is, guess what? People are still reading. In fact, there's a guy in my mastermind that is the most read, or people are still reading articles. I should be more specific about that. He is the most read writer on medium.com. So people go to medium.com to read all sorts of crap. So if you want to become known as a thought leader or a specialist in your niche, get on Medium and start writing. Start writing every single day. That's what he did. And now he has over 300, something like 300,000 people following. He's got a book. He's one of 2 books that are coming out. He's got a lot of great things on his future. He went from making nothing or $12,000 a year to almost in his first month over $500,000, all from writing. So if you guys are not on Medium and you enjoy writing, get on Medium. If you don't know how to write, I don't know how to write. I suck at writing. That's why I'm doing videos, and I can't even do that well. Get started somewhere. But anyways, these are the 5 things that I took from a $25,000 mastermind, in addition to all the fantastic relationships I created. And I continue to blossom as I'm over here. I'll tell you one thing I'm good at, and even my mom says this. I'm good at talking on the phone. So I've talked on the phone to a lot of them and followed up, and now I have some lifelong relationships, hopefully, that I continue to blossom. So that is pretty much it for this video, everyone. I will see you guys in the next video. Click below if you have questions or comments. I would be more than happy to answer those. Again, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.